Hello vegan adventurers, welcome to another exciting vlog. So today is our last day in Valdivia, Chile, and we're gonna be visiting Isla Mancera, which is a little island on Valdivia river close to the ocean. Here we took a bus from Valdivia center all the way to this pier, and we are boarding on this little boat. So let's get into the vlog. So we took this little boat with other people on board, and it costs about 700 pesos, which is like just over $1, and the ride takes about 15 minutes. So it's 3:40 right now. We just got to the, how do we call it?
Isla Mancera.
Mancera Island. Looks quite nice here. You'll see there should be a beach, and you can make a loop, yeah. And we should have got an accommodation here, but they declined on Airbnb. But yeah, I'm just gonna try to see the beach and see what's up here. So after about 200 meters we got to this colonial fortress, and we had to pay 1,400 pesos, which is like $2 per person to get in. And as we didn't have any other plan, we decided to check it out. But once we got in, it was nothing special, just ruins and walls. So in Europe this would be 100% for free, but here they just charge for everything. And it's not even that old. These ruins are from 17th and 18th century.
There goes a sight from my soul. There goes a sight, there goes a sight.
So many people are praising these old fortresses and all historical sites without even knowing what it was the purpose of this. So the main purpose was to keep other colonizers out, and also the tribes that were living here before. So basically this land was claimed by colonizers from Spain, and they forced the tribes that were living here before out of this, and they built these fortresses to keep the land for them.
I think a tall angel just walked by. I think a tall angel just walked by.
I think a tall angel just walked by.
And then we got this view of this beach down here, but it didn't seem like anybody was swimming here. And we thought we saw some penguins, but when we zoomed in, it was just some birds. But it was a really nice view of the Pacific Ocean here and the rest of the island.
Now there goes a sight from my there goes a sight.
So here it says there are only about 70 people living on this island, so it's not that many, and the island is pretty small as well. You can walk around in like a few hours. So the Spaniards founded Valdivia in 1552, and following years they claimed the other land. So here we saw some touristic group, and we don't like to join the guided tourist groups because you don't have much freedom of movement. You can't just go where they go and see the specific spots, and also with time you can't spend as much time as you want. And also with food, it's pretty difficult to order vegan food on guided tours. So this used to be like a prison, and I think it was a prison for like slaves. So the Spaniards took the slaves from Africa or wherever, and they make them to work on the fields, work on the constructions here for no money, just food. So here's some little fence for no reason. So South Americans, they just love to put restricted access for no reason. And here's some prison cell, and people are like, oh, it must have been terrible for these slaves to be here in such terrible conditions. But yet the same people pay for animals to be in even more terrible conditions, and people go to see like concentration camps in Poland and see like, oh, the past was so terrible, but yet they're supporting even more cruel industry for animals. So maybe who knows, in 100 years you might have like a slaughterhouse museums, and well, people reflect on their terrible past they did. So we had enough of a meaningless past of fortresses, and we wanted some nature, so we headed down to this beach. So I wanted to take a little dip because it was really hot outside, but the water was really cold. Like I told you, the Pacific was extremely cold here. We're just eating the potatoes, which I made too spicy, and some mushrooms and vegetables. And really rock formations, how it is. Really nice. We have a friend here laying down.
Animals are friends, not food.
Yeah, don't do animals like that guy over there who is fishing. Let's call a bridge there. So people just take from the nature, but they don't give back, you know. And it's just not sustainable long term. Because look at these guys, they're fucking fat and they have no consciousness about environment, or they don't care about animals at all. And how can you care about other people when you don't care about animals? So it's really tough. So here we are going to this little viewpoint overlooking the ocean, but there's some seagulls nesting here, so I have to be quite careful. So I remember from Slovakia there's an island near my town, and if you get too close to seagulls, they just start flying around you and try to scare you away, because there could be having some eggs there. So I was quite careful here. So here one of them started to flying around me, and this is a tactic to scare people away. And you can see the white poop on the rocks. I think that's how they mark the territory. So I then went in the water one more time, but it was not so pleasant. The water was again cold. There were lots of seaweeds, and there was a fisherman near me. So we decided to go a little bit more up the coast to see what's there. So we are heading to the red lighthouse over there, over these rocks, and it's a really nice landscape here. This is called like coast steering, and it's really adventurous, and the black dog is still following us. So it's interesting how people will lose their mind when it comes to animal cruelty to dogs. Like you see on Facebook, there's a video of a man in China burning dog alive, and people just wishing him all the worst that he will burn in agony as well. But when it comes to other animals like pigs, chickens, cows, people would happily pay other people to do the same thing to them. So it's really utter hypocrisy. Around from this point, on the other side you can see the road where we came from and the pier, and then in the middle you can see the ocean, and on the other side you can see the continuing of the Chilean coast. Finally got out of this fortress. We spent way too much time here, and now we are heading on this bigger road here that goes around the island. It's like a field road, so there are no cars, but Sanya's flip-flops got destroyed, so I had to give her mine, and I'm going barefoot. So after about half an hour of walking from the fortress, we arrived to this beach. So it's not a very big island. You can do the whole loop around island in about 1 hour. So it's maybe like 2 kilometers around. And this beach seems really nice. There's some people even swimming, which means the water is probably warmer here. We have a big place for suntanning on the sand here, but I wanted to explore more, so we went farther around the corner. So as we went further along the coast, there are like little patches of sand, like little beaches, and you could see the water is really shallow here. The people over there are like walking on the water, like Jesus. And then we found some nice secluded spots, and I wanted to refresh, but the water was barely up to my knees, so as you can see I had to lay down to refresh. And as you know me, I had to get out of my comfort zone almost every day, so here was a perfect opportunity, some little boulder. So I climbed up this little rock here. And I wanted to push it even more and jump from the top, but it seems really high and the sand was quite hard. So I jumped from the half point, which was quite easy. And after that, I was quite confident to jump from the top. Another perfect opportunity to do some more bouldering. So you can see the holds are really good and the height is not too high. Then I attempted to climb up on the little platform in between the walls, but it was much more difficult because the walls were slippery, and also even though it doesn't seem high, under me there are sharp rocks, so if I fall down it would hurt much more than on the sand. So bouldering without rope is all about finding the good holds. So if you look at some climber, you can't see how good holds he has, and even if it seems like so easy, like for example here I can't find good foothold, and even though it's not really high, it can be more difficult than when you are higher and have better holds. And then we found this little cave, but it smelled like pee and shit. There was also a lot of trash, so I don't know why people use these little caves like a trash can and a toilet. Then it was time to go back to catch the ferry, and as you can see the tide had risen, so we had to walk through the water. And on the way back, I saw there was a little bit deeper water here, so I went for a swim again along the shore. So from this point we couldn't go on the shore anymore, so we joined the main road again. So then we got up to this viewpoint, Mirador, and then we followed the path back to the shore again. So we connected from over here, and the pier is just down here. Alright, we're back at the pier, ready to go on the boat, and I would definitely recommend to visit Isla Mancera. It's a nice island. It's a little island. You can, as I said, walk around in like 1 or 2 hours, and there's a nice beach. I would maybe skip that fortress because it was a little bit boring, and spend more time maybe exploring the shoreline, those cliffs, and do some more bouldering, things like that. So after about 15 minutes we arrived back to the other side on the pier, and then we wanted to take a bus back to Valdivia, but the problem was that the buses were so full because of some holiday, and we almost got in one bus, but there's some 2 women, looks like some gypsies, that just basically pushed us away, and then we couldn't get in the bus, and we were really surprised by that behavior. We never encountered that in Europe, that somebody would just push you away and get in. So it was really disrespectful and just goes to show the culture here. And then we had to take a bus back to Niebla, and there was this big line of people waiting, and basically we had to wait like 1 hour in a line to get in a bus. So I don't know if it was some holiday or something, but we never seen this in Europe. It was incredible. So the overpopulation here is just starting, and they're gonna have more and more problems. So it really seemed like we are in India or somewhere. Alright, so I hope you enjoy our last day in Valdivia. It was a really nice day apart from the bus problem. And tomorrow we're leaving to another town, more south, Puerto Montt, so stay tuned for those adventures. And for now, stay healthy and stay adventurous!